Meet Wendy Kopp. In 1989, she was a typical senior in college, if you can call Princeton typical, wondering where her life was going and asking herself the same question everybody does. What are you going to do when you graduate? It was consuming her thoughts. The only thing she knew was, and I quote, that she was searching for a place to direct her energy that would give her the kind of significant responsibility that she enjoyed in her various student organizations. See, among other things, Wendy led the student organization at Princeton called Foundation for Student Communication, a student-run organization that was designed to bring student leaders and business leaders together to discuss pressing social issues. Sounds like a making of a great social entrepreneur to me. At that time, when Wendy was wondering about her future, she was also increasingly concerned with another question, that of the failures of our public education system. During a conference she had organized through the Foundation for Student Communication, she repeatedly heard the student participants express that they would be interested in teaching in public schools if they could. She suddenly had an idea. Why didn't this country have a national teacher corps of recent college graduates who would commit 2 years to teach in urban and rural public schools? This was the conception of Teach for America. Teach for America is a nonprofit organization that places recent graduates from all types of majors and fields of concentration and all backgrounds and places them in the lowest income and often also the lowest performing schools all over the country. It is the largest classroom education-based organization that today works on a $75 million a year budget and has placed over 20,000 teachers, which they call core members, in the classroom since its birth in 1990. This last year, it accepted 4,100 core members out of 35,000 applicants. That's pretty competitive. The success of Teach for America, especially in these numbers, isn't what makes Wendy a great social entrepreneur, but people sure have noticed. She's received many awards beginning in 1991 with the Echoing Green Fellowship. She also received the Clinton Center Award for Leadership and National Service, the John F. Kennedy New Frontiers Award, most recently the 2009 Skoll Award for Social Entrepreneurship. She's also made Time Magazine's 2008 list of 100 most influential people. This is a list that includes leaders, heroes, artists, scientists, and more. And she's been invited to be the commencement speaker in a university in St. Louis. But we know this is not a popularity contest, and you don't have to take my word for it. There are some very well-respected voices out there in the field, and a few of these are Ashoka, Echoing Green, and the Schwab Foundation. These are leaders in the field of social entrepreneurship, and they post on their website exactly what they think a great social entrepreneur is. Well, let's take a look at these websites. You don't have to read through them all. I made some bullet points here for you, and you'll recognize these because we saw these before in our social entrepreneurship class. But let's take a look at these. I took a liberty of summarizing them into 6 most important characteristics of the social entrepreneur and see how our fair Wendy scores on their report card. Social entrepreneurs are not satisfied with the status quo, but they're also not constrained by the ideologies or disciplines in the field that they find themselves in. Instead, they find new, innovative, and creative approaches. Wendy had done the important thing of identifying the problem. She knew that our public school system was broken and that there was severe inequality. Most people around her, and especially those who were advising her and helping her to get funding, kept telling her that people within the field believed that if you were going to improve teaching, you had to improve the education training we give our teachers in the university setting. That's where teachers were made, and that's how it had to be improved. But Wendy did not intend to change the way we teach teachers in college programs, so her idea was radically different. But was it practical? Wendy dedicated the first summer after graduating from college to try to make contact with potential funders, yes, but she also had to convince people of her idea, talk with educators to help her refine her plan, but most importantly, she needed to test the feasibility of her big idea. She decided it passed.